Remember what Mark Twain said about politicians? He said, don't applaud or don't encourage them. I want to try not to be too encouraged, so we try to stay on schedule here. Malcolm, and I have to say, while our politics may not be identical, the day I woke up and said, I'm going to appoint this man head of the Arts Commission, one of the smartest days of my governorship. Let me say, Marcy is sick that she is not here today. It's the first time she's ever missed this in our 8 years. And she is literally sick. And she's been sick since Sunday, and she's still got fever. So she doesn't want to come over and pass it around to all the artists in the state. We wanted Marty to still be able to sing instead of catching whatever it is she's got. But she misses being here and loves this program for good reason. And obviously it's been made plain. This is not Haley Barbour's governor of excellence in arts award, long before me. But whoever did it did a day's work for the right thing. Because the arts are a critically important part of Mississippi. They are an important part of our culture. Great writing, truly the birthplace of America's music. Artists, Gwendolyn, that have mastered all sorts of ways of making things beautiful and interesting, and from Belmont back to Woodville, and from Bay St. Louis to up in DeSoto County. There is no part of Mississippi that's not touched by the arts in some way. It has been a great part of our history. The music that we gave birth to came from the lives of people in Mississippi and told the Mississippi story in very individual ways. And it's, to me, stunningly spectacular that we could be here today. In a little bit, we're going to be with one of the original fathers of blues. The guy who's been doing this for 85 years. And that's longer than I've been in politics. That's longer than William Winter's been in politics. But what a wonderful place to get to raise your children, to be surrounded by this. Malcolm's right. We don't talk about it enough. We don't realize what a valuable economic asset it is, very badly. But we're learning. We're learning through things like the Blues Trail and now the Country Music Trail. We're very proud of the fact that the Grammys organization allows one state in America to have its own state Grammy show. It's Mississippi. Because per capita, we've had more Grammy winners and more Grammy nominees than any other state in the Union. I'm very grateful to Malcolm and his team, to the Arts Commission, who give tremendous time and energy and thought and vision, to MDA, who understands that the arts are an enormous part of our economic development and tourism. That we got stuff here, people will come from all over the world to see. I say will come, they do come. When you get up in the Delta, when you get different places in Mississippi and run into Europeans and Asians who come here because of Elvis, or the Blues, or Jimmy Rogers, or McAnally, Jimmy Buffett. And we have to continue to remember that this is a big part of what Mississippi has to offer economically, for tourists, for job creation. I have to close by saying this. These great organizations are not immune to what's happening in the state budget. And Carol, that's why I almost jumped over the counter to give you a big hug when Malcolm talked about the private sector part of this and all the money that you've raised toward this. You know, if you go back through history into Roman times or Egyptian times, the state has always been a promoter of the arts. So many of the most beautiful things in the world that we enjoy today were built hundreds or thousands of years ago by governments, by kings who wanted to be remembered, by pharaohs who wanted to be remembered, by Khans in Asia, or the Magee dynasty, or just go down the list. But at the same time, what we've learned in American society, that a little bit of government help helps attract private sector support. In a way, it's almost like the good housekeeping seal of approval. If I'm looking for a way to try to support the arts, one of the things that I look to is see what the Arts Commission is doing, because they're really working on it. And a lot of people who care about the arts aren't as sophisticated about it as some of you, aren't as knowledgeable about, man, we ought to help Gwendolyn, or a good place to invest a little money in the arts is in Natchez because of what they do. The government put a little bit in is a way to attract private sector money that is critical. So when the days come when y'all are mad at me because I've had to try to cut the budget for the arts a little bit, I hope you'll remember that when times get flush, we can go back. But that in the interim, the state is trying to say to Mississippians and people who are not in Mississippi, we, or our leadership, recognize that these things are the most important things, or these things are the things that we can help just a little bit, we need to help so others are given the incentive and given the sort of direction of how to help. Because for time immemorial, Mississippians have loved arts, and Mississippians have wanted to have more of what the arts gives us. The music, the architecture, the painting, the textiles, all the things that are so important to making life better. Mississippians want to give to that. And that is what is really important. Not what the government does, but what you do. And your friends, your businesses back home. And this really is a tribute to 5 people up here and the wonderful Mississippian Marty. Mississippi does not have a ambassador. Marty goes out of his way. But besides those 5 people, Malcolm, his commission, what this is really a great day is to say thank you to you who support the arts. You who get the arthritis out of your check right hand. To make sure that your children and grandchildren get to be exposed to, learn about, enjoy, and learn to love the things that we have